So in this video we're going to make some cake pops. You don't need a lot of different things, so I've basically got some sponge cake that's crumbled up. So literally just a normal sponge cake, and you're just going to crumble it up by rubbing it together in your hands until it creates breadcrumbs. Now if you've got a really crusty edge on your cake, you don't want to put that in, as you'll find it's difficult to roll them into balls if you've got the thick edge bit in. So we've just crumbled up the cake crumbs, and we're just going to add some buttercream to that. Now quantity wise, I tend to guess. I just put it in until I'm happy with the texture and consistency of it, but you don't want to put too much in that becomes too sickly that people won't want to eat it. So we're just adding in the buttercream. We're just going to mix that in. So once it's all mixed in, you're going to take some and we're going to roll it into a ball. Now it's a little bit sticky, is mine. I think making it a ball shape is the most difficult bit. And when you've got it into a ball shape, we're just going to put it on here. So I've literally just got a baking sheet that's lined, just so that, not lined, well, it's got greaseproof paper on it, just so that we can put these on here without worrying about them sticking. And you're just going to keep going. You want to try and get them all similar sizes. So I've got a few rolled out. I'm not going to do loads and loads of them. And what I'm going to do is put them in the fridge just for 5 minutes to harden them just a tad while I'm melting my colour melts. For the cake pops, I've bought some new colour melts that are the Renshaw's ones. So I'm going to give all these a try. I've bought a few different colours. So our colour melts are melted, and I'm just going to dip a cake pop stick into my tub of colour melt, and I'm going to push it into my cake pop, and I'm just going to give it a few minutes to dry, and then we'll dip it into the pot. So once it's dried, you can dip it into colour melt and just twist it around till it's covered. Now if you twist it too much, you'll find it will come off the stick, so this one's moved a little bit. Hopefully it'll stay on. I'm just going to let the extra colour melts drip off. And for these cake pops, instead of putting them upright, what we're going to do is we're going to have them upside down. So I've got some greaseproof paper here, and I'm just going to stand, oh, see my stick dropped off a little bit there. Now because it's upside down, it should be okay, because it's gone back in and it'll set this way up, okay? So I'll do that with a few more. Once our yellow cake pops have set, we're going to create a little daffodil to put on to make them a little bit Easter-like. So this time I've bought ready dyed flour and modelling paste for this. I tend to do figures and models in modelling paste. I just find it easier to use and it sets harder, and you can get it into like finer little points and details and things. So we're going to use this one. So this is a Renshaw's one that I'm using this time. And we're going to create some leaves first. So you just want to soften a little bit of your modelling paste. Now, the leaves, despite the fact we're doing daffodils, we're not going to do leaves that actually look like daffodils leaves, just because daffodils have really quite long, thin leaves, but they won't sit quite right on the cake pop. So we're starting with a circle that we're going to bring to a point, and we're going to squash it flat like that. I'm just going to use a cocktail stick to push a line up the centre of the flower like that. If you want more details, you can add lines going sideways as well, just whichever you think looks best for it. If you want, you can just twist the very end slightly to make it look a bit more leaf-like. And we're just going to put a little bit of water on the back of that, and then what we'll do is stick it onto the top of the cake pop. And you can add one or you can add two, whatever you think looks best. Okay, so we're putting that one on next to the other one, like so. So they're quite big, are those leaves. If you want them a little bit smaller, you can make them smaller, whichever you prefer. And again, I'm going to use modelling paste again. So I've got some, again, ready coloured in yellow that we're going to use. And instead of using a cutter, we're just going to create the daffodil ourselves. So we're going to start with 5 petals. So we're just going to start with 5 balls of the same size, or roughly the same size. I lie, sorry, we need 6, not 5. Okay, So each ball now needs rolling into a teardrop shape. And then what we're going to do is flatten each one down like that. So in the same shape really as what we did for the leaves, but we're not going to put all the lines on these. So what we're going to do now is put a little bit of water on the back of each of these, and we're going to start by sticking them in the centre of those leaves. Now you might find if we struggle to squeeze them all on together, you have to pinch the bottom of the petal as well so that it fits in. We've got to get 6 of these on. Now I'm doing this one quite big so it's easier for you to see. You can do them smaller than this if you want on your cake pops. So just one more to squeeze in there. I'm going to squeeze that in there like so. Okay, so they're all now on, and now it needs a centre. So we're going to use yellow again. You can dye it a little bit darker if you want, so that it stands out a bit more from the others. And we're going to start with a bit of a cone shape. Now you can either stick the end of your paintbrush in, the bottom end, and wiggle it around like that. If you have a modelling tool, you can, instead of using the paintbrush, you can just poke that in like that, which obviously gives you a slightly frilled looking edge. I don't know how well you can see it on the camera, but it's slightly frilled. And what we're going to do is push that into the centre of our flower. So I'll just add a little bit of water in there, and we're just going to push that in like so. So that's really simple to do. If you want to put more greenery on it, again, you can add more leaves, that's fine, or you can push the petals around until you're happy with how they're formed. So what I've got here is a slightly different version where it is smaller. So I'm going to show you a second version of doing it. This is if you've got a diamond shaped cutter. So you just need one like this. Oh, sorry, it's all going out of focus. Okay. And you're going to need your green and your yellow the same as before, and we're just going to roll them. Let mine dry out a little bit, so just make sure as you don't dry out, yours don't dry out even, use a bit of Trexin with it if it does start to dry. Okay, so we've rolled those out, and we're going to just need a couple of diamonds cutting out of the green, which will be our leaves, and we're just going to push a cocktail stick down the centre of each one to create a little bit more of a leaf look to it. And we're going to stick these on with just a little bit of water. If you've got a bigger diamond cutter, you can make them a little bit bigger. Okay, and now we're going to want 6 diamonds out of the yellow. And these are going to be stuck in between those leaves that we've added. So start up near the top, and you're just going to push them next to each other. So I'll try and show you on the board here. They're going to fit next to each other like that all the way around to create a flower on there. Okay, and I'm just going to put a dab of water in the centre, and we're just going to need a small amount again, and we're going to create the centre the same way we did on the other, either with the handle of your paintbrush, or if you prefer you can use a modelling tool to push into the centre like that. Okay, so if you're using your modelling tool, you can push that then straight into the centre like that. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see them, there's one of them. I'll put up a picture as well for you to see. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and would like to see more, please click on the images of the other videos suggested. Also, please do subscribe to my channel using the button at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. You can also visit my cake website and my Facebook page to see more cakes and ideas.